Hey guys, welcome back to the Sweet Pea Diaries. It's your girl Sweet Pea, and I am back with another video. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. And if you are a new subscriber, welcome to the Sweet Pea Diaries. Be sure to like this video, share this video, but most importantly, be sure to subscribe to the channel. All right, y'all, we here to do this thing. It is Tuesday. Um, Raining again where I'm at. Child. Raining. But I had to do this video because there were a lot of people last night when we had our celebrity gossip. There were people that were asking me, so you just not going to say anything about the Clubhouse video, that interview that Jen did? You just going to act like you don't even know that there's contradictions. You just going to breeze right on by the Clubhouse interview. And I'm just like, what Clubhouse interview? First off, I'm never on Clubhouse. I don't know how to use Clubhouse. I don't know anything about Clubhouse. So no, I did not hear it. I hadn't heard it at that time. So last night I was not purposely avoiding the subject. It's just that I didn't know that such an interview existed. And when I listened to it not too long ago, I just listened to it today, maybe about an hour ago, and it sounded like she was talking with Armand. Is that what was that Armand Wiggins that she was talking to? So let me know, you guys. Hey, all about the trees. Alice Morris, Sabrina Creations, Jerica, Kim Bird. Hardcore as hell. I love that name. My boo Monica, and my boo Miss Gardner. How's everyone? Hope you guys are having a great afternoon. It's the early part of the evening now, honey. It's going about 5 o'clock. Y'all get ready to cut up out them offices, ain't y'all? About 3 minutes. Y'all get ready to cut up out them offices in about 3 minutes. Whether you are in an office or you're remote, you get ready to cut them lights off. You get ready to cut off that computer. You got 3 minutes. It is almost 5 o'clock. So yeah, I don't know anything about Clubhouse. I don't even know how to get on that app. I've never used it. So a lot of people were, you're just gonna ignore it. It was a lot of contradictions. So when I listened to it, and compared it to the lawsuit, a lot of people's like, Sweet Pea, tell the truth. Did you hear those contradictions? Listen. This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it right now. The one contradiction that I heard, the one thing, I'm not even going to say contradiction, the one thing that I did hear her say that was different from the lawsuit, the amended complaint, was the birthday party situation with Nikki doing a video for her daughter's birthday as a thank you for recanting. That was something different that I heard from compared to the lawsuit, because in the lawsuit, Jen's lawyer has in the complaint that Nikki said she would record a birthday video in exchange, and along with the $20,000 in exchange for Jen recanting. Now, the $20,000 did come through Black. So, and she did say that Black gave her the $20,000 in the car. He put it on her lap. So that could have been, that could have been the same story, where she was saying it went through Black. So I don't know if that's like such a big deal. However, this is what my thoughts on that. I am not going to sit here and pick apart, go through all the damn interviews that Jen has had and then try to line it up with the lawsuit. I'm not going to do that because that's a job for the attorneys to do, and I'm not getting paid to do that. I am not nobody's paralegal, and I am not getting paid to sit down and compare all these videos with that goddamn amended complaint. Now, if other bloggers want to do that, that is completely up to them. However, in my opinion, Jen's story has stayed the same. When she said that Nicki Minaj did not threaten her and Kenny did not threaten her directly, she absolutely did say that. She said that they are threatening her indirectly. In the amended complaint, it says that Kenny and Nicki Minaj are threatening her directly and indirectly. That is what the complaint says. So when you are threatening someone indirectly, that means that you are using other people to do that, whether it be black, whether it be other people, you are threatening her indirectly. You're using tactics to show that you're using other means and other ways to threaten her. That's what I got out of that. Now, one thing I do know, if you tell a story over and over and over and those facts remain the same, Jennifer never changed her story up when it comes to that, to the situation that happened in 94 between her and Kenny. She did not say, oh, 1 minute her family took her down to recant her story. Oh, then the next minute these people took her down to recant her story. Oh, then the next minute it was the Kenny's family that posed as her mother, and that these were separate situations, separate occasions. Not everybody doing the same thing on the same day, the same occurrence, but you just saying it's different people. She was speaking about instances when she was being forced to recant. Now, as far as a letter, I have never known it to be a recant letter. There is no letter. From what I understand, there is no letter. The letter was already written by, I guess, Nikki's team, and it was in a folder, and it was dropped in her lap along with the $20,000. And it was like it was already typed up, already written up, and all she had to do was sign it. That's the story that I've always heard, and that's what it sounded like. She did say something about the birthday shout out some time ago. That's not new. But from what she said in the Clubhouse interview was that Black was the one that wanted the shout out or birthday video for his daughter. So that could be a little difference. But one thing that I'm going to say, if you tell the same story over and over and over about, I mean, she was not inconsistent about that. She has been telling the same story over and over and over about the situation that occurred in 94. Whether or not it doesn't sound plausible, whether or not it sounds, like that couldn't have possibly happened, that doesn't mean that it did not happen. So I don't think that there were inconsistencies. I just think that when you hear the same story over and over, or when you go to different platforms telling the story, there may be different ways that you word something. You may word something one way on one platform. You might word it another way when you come to my show, but it doesn't mean that your story is not consistent. Just because you use different words, you are not going to tell the same story and the same narrative using the same words every time. You're going to replace those words with other words, but your story still lines up. Your story lines up, and you know, it all means the same. Now, one thing I will say, I am disappointed in Tyrone Blackburn and Jen's attorneys. You need to tell Jen that she should not be speaking about this lawsuit. She should not be in public speaking about the lawsuit. She should not be on with Armand Wiggins. She should not be in Clubhouse speaking about this lawsuit with anyone, because right now what is happening, that's what's going to happen. People are going to screen record it. They're going to chop it up, dice it up. They're going to send it to the attorneys. And how do you know if they're going to send them the right recording? They might slice and dice it up and have you saying other things that you weren't saying, and then send it to the attorney. You're only putting your foot in your mouth when you continue to speak out, and you keep doing videos on this person. You keep interviewing with that person. You need to stop speaking. You don't need to be interviewing and being on Clubhouse talking about this lawsuit. It's the same thing like with Tasha K and Cardi B. Like we said about Tasha. Tasha put her foot in her mouth by doing videos, constantly being up on, you know, her channel, talking about Cardi B, and people were sending the clips to Cardi and her team. This can only hurt you. That can only hurt you to be out in the public speaking about this lawsuit. It's in its beginning stages. You're speaking about the circumstances that are surrounding this lawsuit, and you know everyone got their ears glued to the street, listening, taping, recording. So this can only hurt Jennifer. This is not going to help Jennifer. This is going to hurt Jennifer. So I can admit it. And I always tell people, um, just because I report on this, just because I stand for a rape victim, that doesn't mean that I agree with every move that she makes. I'm an adult at the end of the day. I am now a blogger. And at the end of the day, this is my job. My job is to tell the story. And if I feel like giving my opinion and if I feel like standing with someone, I'm going to stand with someone. That's my right to do that. I don't have to be non-biased. I don't know where there's rules listed anywhere that says that I can't have a biased opinion, that says that I have to be non-biased and I'm not allowed to tell people what I feel. I'm not allowed to tell people how I think something's going. No, absolutely. I have an opinion like the rest of you. This is a YouTube channel. It is for entertainment purposes. I'm not CNN. I'm not NBC. I'm not a courtroom reporter. I'm not a media reporter. I am a YouTube blogger. This is for entertainment purposes only. I do not know Cardi B. I do not know Jennifer Hough. I don't know Nicki Minaj or Kenneth Petty. And at the end of the day, this is all entertainment. I really don't care if, who wins or loses. Whoever wins or loses, more power to them. But that doesn't take away from what happened to Jennifer. Yes, it was tragic. Yes, it really was. And up until the point where Kenneth Petty met Nicki Minaj, he was registering as a sex offender. He was doing everything that he was supposed to be doing under the law. His sentence and the conditions of his release required that he register as an S offender. He did not. The only reason she got on there was to debunk the lies about Good Morning America. But yes, should definitely not speak about the lawsuit. Let Nikki self-destruct because she's doing it so well. Jen needs to cut off all them family and people from the block. They were never for her. Hey, Just the T, please. 3. Yes, Miss Gardner says, please like, share, and subscribe. Check your notification bell and select all. Yes, sweeties. Come through, sweeties, and hit those notification bells. Now, like I said, if Jen wins, loses, we're not going to gloat and celebrate if she wins. We're not going to gloat and celebrate if Nikki loses. We're not going to gloat and celebrate if Nikki wins and Jen loses. We shouldn't. Nobody wins in this situation. Nobody wins in this situation because at the end of the day, what is it really? It's another example of Black women and Black people tearing each other down. Y'all are tearing me down for reporting on it. Y'all are tearing me down for having my opinion about Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty. Y'all are tearing my subscribers down and my audience down in the comments because they stand for Jen. So at the end of the day, nobody is really winning because we are all attacking one another over people we do not know. We don't know these people in real life. So why does everyone get so worked up? I mean, these people step in my comments with chips on their shoulder, literally, ready to attack people. And then the moment someone challenges their disposition, Now you're dragged, you're called all kinds of names. They're talking to you as if they know you and they're about to come slap the shit out of you. It's like you all the way on the other side of the country, the state. I don't know where you're located, but still and yet, you are talking to me like I know you. You're under my channel. You came over here literally seeing the title and you still clicked and chose to watch. The pressure that Jen is under is imaginable. I imagine how much slander and threats, hate mail, etc. Horrific. I pray for the best outcome for Jen because she deserves peace. And at the end of the day, and that is all that she's probably seeking, she just wants peace and justice and to be left alone. However, I really believe that she needs to stop talking so much. I'm just getting here. Did you see the new motions posted on the case today? From what I'm told, the judge is honoring Jen's default. Well, I have to look at that. I am not at home yet, so I will definitely be looking at the Pacer website when I get home, and I'll take a look at that. If that's true, then we will report on it. And again, we are early in the case. We are early in the lawsuit. We have not even seen any evidence, no discovery. Nothing has been entered on the case yet. So it's very early. It's still in the preliminary stages. It is still in the pleadings stage. We are nowhere near the discovery phase. So no evidence. When people keep saying, where is Jennifer's evidence? What has she shown as evidence? There is no evidence because we are not in the discovery phase. So the people are saying that yes, it was granted. The default was granted. Okay, but what does that really even prove? He doesn't have any money. He has no money. What is she going to gain out of that from Kenny? Kenny doesn't have any money, but his wife got the money. But then didn't someone say that Kenny is worth $5 million? So we'll see. We will look at the paperwork and we will go over that. If that is true, if that is the update, she won that against Kenny. She won a default. And I'm telling you, that would have been the same with Nicki Minaj had that paperwork been entered that same day. It's Kenny's default, probably. It is not Nicki. It said it was granted against Nicki. Are you sure it was granted against Nicki or it was Kenny's? So we shall see because they didn't have one for Nicki. It was late. They said that it was late and they didn't have a chance to get the paperwork. The paperwork was late. Remember, they said that the courts were understaffed and they weren't able to issue that default. So let's see. When I get home, I will check it out. I will be checking it out. All right. So, at the end of the day, I just think that Jen needs to stop doing videos. I think she needs to stop doing interviews. She needs to stop being vocal because it can only harm her case at the end of the day. And her attorneys need to advise her of the same thing. No more social media, no more interviews unless it comes through your lawyer. You went on The Real, you had Tyrone Blackburn with you. You go on these shows, you need to have your lawyer with you. Never go anywhere without your attorney. You should not be speaking with anyone without your attorney. That way your attorney can advise you whether to answer or not answer a question. You should not be anywhere without your attorney. Kenny is still allowed to enter his default in November. The default against Nicki was granted. The judge said the clerk denied it, but he has overturned the clerk's denial. Okay, we will definitely check that out once we get home, and I will do an update on that. So definitely, we will definitely take a look at that, and I will be doing an update. But, again, we spoke about this. That is the ruling of the court. That's usually how defaults work. If you did not answer in time it would be granted. So if the judge saw through that, we'll do an update about that and we will speak on that. But this is just my opinion. The Clubhouse interview, I think that, she may have said some things that sounded different. However, her story as a whole has not changed. It is consistent with the amended complaint. It is consistent with her complaint that has been entered and sworn in by the court. The only difference that I saw was the actual birthday party video. Now she said in the Clubhouse thing that that was supposed to be for Black's daughter, not her own, or what have you. It could have been when she was telling Tyrone and her attorney that, and they were briefing, writing up this brief that they made a typo. You guys seen that the first brief he had to amend it and enter the second one. So maybe there it was a typo, but they will handle that in court. When they start testifying and they start doing the deposition and they start taking statements, they will clear that up and that will be amended in the complaint. If it was for Black's daughter, they will amend that in the complaint. Because I'm pretty sure that if you keep talking about a situation, there are going to do, there are going to be little little words or phrases that you use that weren't the same as the first video or weren't the same as the second interview, but it doesn't mean that your story is not consistent. You can use all different words you want. You can word it different ways. But if your story is consistent, then I don't have anything to say, because we all know if we keep talking, a lot of times your story is going to have different phrases that you use, but it doesn't mean that you're not still on the same subject and your actual story is in line with your original statement. Her story is in line. When I was listening to it, she said, "Oh, Nikki did not directly harass me. Kenny did not directly harass me." She never said that in the complaint, that they harassed her. She said that they had directly and indirectly harassed her. She never said anywhere that they specifically harassed her. They said indirectly. And like she said on that Clubhouse interview, judging by what happened to Redbone, do you really think that I would not think that that can happen to me? You think I see that and know about that and don't think like, damn, I could wind up that way? So people gotta, you guys have to really be a little bit more smarter than that. Okay. She has to stop. Look what happened to Tierra Marie, for example. Her actions during and prior to the court case led her up to losing it. I feel so damn bad for her. They're purposely trying to misunderstand her. And that's why I'm saying just stop talking. They want this woman to be perfect after all the trauma she's experienced. It's hard to remember timelines after being assaulted, and not every memory is clear. I mean, damn, if you've been moving around, you can't work a regular job, but for so long, you got to keep quitting your job, moving around from residence to residence. I mean, shit would be blurry for me too. Sometimes I can't even remember what happened last week, let alone 1994. Little bits and pieces might get construed, but the actual meat and potatoes is not changing. There is no way that anyone can tell the same story using the exact same words every time. You can use one word, but it still means as the second word. You feel me? So there could be a way she said something in one interview, and now on Clubhouse, she's using another phrase or another way of putting it, but it is still the same narrative, period. You feel me? So that's all I got concerning this. When I get home, I'm going to look into the updates. A couple people are saying that it's been granted, that the judge overturned the denial. So we will see. We will see, and we will do an update. And somebody asked me about Cardi. am I going to do an update on um, her lawsuit. So I've been looking into her recent one, and yes, I am going to break down that case as well with the whole bar fight. Yes, we will be doing that. We will be covering that soon. I'm just in my early stages of gathering the information and looking over the court documents. Um, and as far as Cardi B and Tasha K goes, there are not any updates. Only that jury selection, we did that. They start trial November 9th. We getting ready for our road trip. So there really isn't any other updates. Life with the Leonard family says, Sweet Pea, if she wins in court against Kenny, do you think they can bring charges against Tim for violating his plea deal by contacting her and intimidating her? I mean, I don't know. That is a great point. That's a great question. Your condition of parole and release is that you register as a sex offender every time you relocate, and you should not be having any contact directly or indirectly with the victim. So, absolutely, I can see that they can probably bring some type of charges up for violating that order. Too chaotic to even speak on that topic. Positive vibes, Jen. And they swear she wants clout, but ain't come with nothing sellable. This woman was living her life. She didn't need this, period. And then with the $500,000, I did see that um, people were saying, well, I thought, yeah, she did. She said that the $500,000 came through her cousin. She didn't say that they directly gave her, they didn't put her directly with an ultimatum or directly offer her $500,000. She said that it came through a third party, her brother, at her brother's house. She didn't say her actual brother. She said her brother's house. So her cousin could have been there at that time, and it came, they offered it through the cousin. But she said at her brother's house, they went and contacted people at her brother's house. So when they did the whole $500,000 thing, that could have been, through family at her brother's house. So when she said cousin, that wasn't a contradiction because she said that it went through her family's home, her brother's house, the 500,000. So you guys just have to take certain things with a grain of salt. To me, those are minor details. They are not as important as the meat and potatoes. That the assault occurred back in 94. You were supposed to register as a sex offender. You did not. You should not be having any contact, indirectly or directly, with the defendant, period. And she really needs to just be quiet until the case is over because that could not do anything but hurt her. If it's proven that he was having contact directly or indirectly, I absolutely believe they can add on charges for violating. Absolutely. Nikki filmed her video with ASAP Ferg in Jen's cousin's restaurant, almost like she's letting Jen know, I know your people. So it is the indirect. And see, that's an indirect move. And that's what Jen is alleging in her complaint. Directly and indirectly. Stop threatening me directly and stop threatening me indirectly. You might not be picking up the phone and calling me directly, but you're threatening me indirectly. You might not be calling me, picking up the phone, bitch, I'm going to kill you. You're not doing any of that. But when you did pick up the phone and call me, she never said that she didn't speak to Nicki Minaj. She said that Nicki Minaj never threatened her or offered her any money or offered her anything when she spoke to Nicki Minaj. She never said these things happened. She just said when she spoke to Nicki Minaj, Nicki did not threaten her. Nikki has been doing it directly and indirectly and has been saying, I got word from someone that you want to help us. Just like she said with the attorney. When she speaks with the attorneys, they always say, well, we got word you want to help, or we got word that you wanted to tell us something. And then when she tells them, listen, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you that these people are harassing me. They don't do anything about it because that's not what they want her to say. Mind you, keep in mind, they can't tell Jen what to say. They can't tell Jen what they're really there for. They can't tell Jen why they're really calling. But if Black and if he's putting all these thoughts in her head, when they talk, like, Nikki and Kenny want you to do this, they want you to, they going to pay you to do, and all of this. Black is the one telling her what Nikki and Kenny want her to do and what they expect her to do. Then they'll have the lawyer call. And once they have the attorney call, she's supposed to then tell the attorney that she's willing to play ball. That's the whole setup. Go through Black. Black is the one that has the conversations with you. After he done spoke to Nikki and Kenny, now he'll come and tell you what you're supposed to be doing when the lawyer calls you. Once the lawyer calls, you're supposed to be telling the lawyer that you want to do X, Y, and Z. If that's not the conversation that you're going to have with the lawyer when the lawyer calls, now the lawyer is going to hang up, disconnect the call, or now he don't understand what you're talking about. Well, they're threatening me. Okay, we're going to handle it. Why would they handle it and why would they take care of it? They're working for Nikki and Kenny. So I can see the setup. I don't know why anyone else cannot see the setup. It's obvious. The writing's on the wall. Obvious. So when we get home, we will do the update. She said after he spoke to her, she only got contacted by goons. So when I get home, I will be doing the update on what happened today. It seems everybody is saying that there's a major update. So we'll check it out when we get home, and I'll do a recap and an update on that document. Okay? So you guys, this has been another edition of the Diaries. Thank you for coming. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I will catch you on the next video. Bye.